All right, hello everyone, and peace of Christ to all of you. Today we will talk about some news. The video will be short, not long, just to make a comment about what is going on. If we go in the news, we hear or we see in the news that Trump is speaking of moving the USA embassy to Jerusalem. Now, we know that Trump, he spoke about this during his election, but you know, I don't know even why he keep talking about it. He just should do it. So you know, he's making phone calls, and I don't see really any reason for that if he is I mean, serious about doing what he's doing. However, I hope he is serious and he will do it. Now, right away when he starts speaking about moving the USA embassy to Jerusalem, the Muslims start making a threat. And you know, the Muslim, they make a threat anyway. You do, you don't do, you are good, you are bad, it doesn't matter. And all of us, we knew that Jerusalem is not a place to negotiate. You know, whatever the Muslim they think, Jerusalem is not their land, and we will never let the Muhammadan have it ever again. So and it's not even up to Trump or anyone. I mean, Trump decision is just symbolic. Jerusalem, it's out of the hands, out of negotiation, and don't ever dream to take an inch of it. Now, the decision of a Trump is important because that will encourage other countries to move their embassy. But I believe this decision should be made a long time ago, before the Muslim population increase in Europe, and now they have more pressure on European government. This is why we see the puppy, the French president, right away he start calling and asking Trump not to move the USA embassy to Jerusalem. You know, the French government, they have a lot of business with Muslims, and same as the English government. Somehow they are like you know, business-minded people, and they are under the influence of money. So no, Jerusalem should not be for the Christians. Jerusalem should not be for the Christians. That's not true. Jerusalem is the land of the Jews, and don't worry, all the Jews will turn to be Christians sooner or later. So we need to be truthful, and we don't want to do the same as the Abdul do. Jerusalem is a city built by the Jews, owned by the Jews. It is the land of the Jews. Anyone who says something else is a hypocrite, and he is not a truthful. It is not the capital of the Christians. It does not belong to the Christians, and that's not true. So what if the Trump of a Christ is there? You know, I don't like stupid talk anyway. You know, please, if you want to speak stupid, leave. If the land is built by the Jews, so what if the Trump of Christ is there? Are you going to do the same as the Abdul? Is that your logic? The Abdul, their prophet, did not even go there. He saw a dream, flying in the top of a mule, have two wings, and he do poo-poo, and they claim Jerusalem belonged to them. So if the Messiah, he was in Jerusalem, and his empty tomb, it's empty tomb anyway. This is the land of the Jews. So don't be hypocrite, don't be stupid, don't be dumb. We are not the same as the Muslims. This is a land belong to the Jews, and nobody should have it except the Jews. Now, we should be willing even to go in war in order to prevent anyone having his hand in Jerusalem. This is a red line and should not happen again. The Muslims, they took control of the Holy Land for a long time, and even the Muslim books confirm that they themselves are the occupation. And even the yellow pages of Muhammad, the Quran, confirm that this is the land of the Jews. If we go in the Quran, You will see here, chapter 5, verse number 21. The verse says clearly, with no question, that this is a land assigned from the god of the Abdul, the god of the Abdul, Bula Bula, okay, the god of the falafel. He said that this is the land, O Musas. He said to who? O Musas, take your people and enter the holy land which is assigned for you. So even in the book of the enemies of the Jews, even in the book of the terrorist, it confirmed that this is the land of the Jews. The one here the Quran speak about, it is Musas. Remember, Moses said to his people, O my people, call in remembrance of the favor of Allah upon you when he produced prophets among you and made you kings and gave you what he had not given to any other amongst the people. O my people, enter the holy land which Allah has assigned into you. So what do you want more proof that this is the land of the Jews, even from the book of the potato, the book of magic and fictions, the book of a flying carpet and flying horses, the book of a woman have a sperm coming from her ribs, the book of God who says something then he forget it the second day, but he could not forget that this is the land of the Jews. So if Trump moved the embassy or not, that will not change anything, but this is very important step for the rest to follow. And actually USA should force all European countries to move their embassy, and we can do that. We can put sanctions actually if we want. America is the most powerful country in the earth. The whole world is breathing through America. This guy, he should use his power for the best of the benefit of the truth. So I don't understand why he is even keep talking about it. Just do it. And who care who get angry and who care who get happy? You get angry, you get happy, live with it. If you don't, go in war with us. I want to see the Saudi announcing jihad on us. I want to see Abbas announcing jihad on us. I want to see the Palestinians announce jihad. Let them there. Why you want to discuss with anyone about it? You see, leadership is very important. And the world can change. And right things can be done when you have a true leader. In Israel, they don't have a true leader. They have a potato. His name is Netanyahu. The idiot, he is afraid to attack Iran for the last many years, when everybody knows that the Iranians, they have a plan to destroy Israel. And he is waiting for somebody else to fight for him, and that will not happen. So leadership is so extremely important to accomplish things. You see, if you look at the map, Israel right now, actually, they don't even have Israel. Where is Israel? Still the Muslims occupying most of their land. If Israel have a real leader, all this land, it's called the West Bank, should be taken. This is not the land of there is no Palestinian left there. You know, those Muslims, they came with Umar ibn Khattab. All of us, we knew. Even the Muslims agree. So this is the West Bank, supposedly controlled. It's almost bigger than Israel. And I don't understand why the stupid Netanyahu don't take it. Who is going to be upset? The West? The East? Let them get upset. This is your land. You see, if you look around you, the Muslims have land is 1 million times bigger than all of Israel. Saudi Arabia alone is a 1 million kilometer. 1 million kilometer. It's bigger than Europe. And all of us, we knew that this is nothing to do with the Muslims. This is the total land of the Jews. So the Israeli, they need to have a real leader. They need to have a new David. The new David should take not only the West Bank, he should take back Jordan. This is all is the land of the Jews. All the way to Sinai. This is the land of the Jews. This is not the land of the Palestinian. This is not there is nothing called Jordan. What Jordan? There's the river of Jordan, but there's no country. Never exist a country it's called Jordan. Who is the last Jordanian king before this family? Those Jordanian family, you know, the capital Amman. This is something established by the British. The British, they brought a guy, he is supposedly descended from the family of Muhammad. This is why he is corrupt. And they made him a king in order to fight the Ottoman. They destroyed the Ottoman Empire. They established a new little tiny kingdoms. And then he have 3 kids. One kid they gave him Jordan. The other kid they gave him Iraq. The other kid gave him Syria. So they divide this area territory to kingdoms, but those kingdoms never exist. So I hope that Trump, he will stop talking. I don't like the bubbles he do. Sometimes he act like a kid. I want to see a real man doing a real work. And I hope he will announce immediately that Jerusalem is the capital of Israel forever, and this is the right thing to do. Now, I have another news to talk about. As I said, I will try to keep this video short. The Chinese, they found a huge field of oil. Now, I don't know if you saw this news or not yet, but this news is a disaster for the Abdul. Because right now, USA is #1 producer for oil in the world. And now, Israel, they found a lot of oil and gas in the front of their borders. So Israel itself became a producer for oil and gas. And now the Chinese, they found a lot of oil in their shores. So that will have a huge impact in the oil industry. So I will not be surprised if all those Islamic countries who depend on oils are going to face a bankruptcy sooner or later. If the price of barrel will go under $30, that's it. I mean, shish kebab, they are gone. You see those countries, they have nothing. You know, do you know who is making Jordan alive? Go right now and search. You will find that the USA government gave this year, just this year, $489 million assistance, and they get the same from the West. They curse us. They say infidels, kuffar, Allahu Akbar, and they are and most of the Jordanian, by the way, they are Hamas and Muslim Brotherhood. They hate us to death, but we are the one who feeding them, and we are the one who pay for their bread. So USA should stop stupidity. I mean, why Trump? Even Trump, he says that he want to bring jobs, he want to fix the economy, and he want to do the right things. Why you are giving them $500 million? Why he is giving the Abdul $500 million? Give me a reason. Same to Egypt, $2 billion. Why? They hate us, they curse us. America the big Satan, Israel the small Satan, and then we feed them. We are the one who pay for their bread. So the new discovery of oil in China, which they are talking about astonishing numbers, you can search for it right now in Google. That will change a lot, because China is a big country which suck a lot of oil, and most of their oil is coming specifically from the Middle East. So China is a big spender in the Middle East, which means most of the money of the Abduls is coming from the pocket of China and South Asia. So if China will have enough oil for themselves, or maybe they will have enough to give to other countries, we don't know. They are speaking about more discoveries soon to come, but they cannot announce until they are, sure about how much there is. So and all of this happened because the American, the new scientific way, or let us say the new way to discover oil, created by the USA scientists, made it a lot easier to produce oil. So the industry of oil is going to collapse, and this industry, which like will bring a disaster finally, and the end of the wealth of the terrorist, because all the terrorist attacks in the world, you see, is sponsored by one of two things: drugs from Afghanistan and Pakistan, and oil from Arabia, Emirat, Bahrain, Qatar, etc. If the oil the price of oil drop in a very bad way for them, good for us, all the citizens of this earth, because transportation will be cheaper. You're paying, you pay less for heating your house. Everything will be cheaper. Even electricity should be cheaper. So bad news for the Abdul, bad news about Jerusalem, bad news about the oil. And yesterday the ex-president of Yemen, he was slaughtered by the Shia Houthi in Yemen. Now this will increase the fight between the Sunni and the Shia, and will ignite the fire between them. However, I am not sad for those people. Those people are satanic, and they have to be in war always, otherwise they cannot enjoy life. So they killed this guy yesterday in Yemen, and his children are taking oath to revenge. So the Yemen is going to be inflamed more between the Shia and the Sunni. The Sunni, they are gathering armed and weapon and men to attack, and the Shia are gathering men and money and weapon to attack. So things is going to go so good in the kingdom of Satan. The kingdom of Satan is divided, and because this God is a God of love, so they cannot stay without killing each other. And because Islam is peace, so the peace of Islam have to flourish everywhere, wherever Muslims goes. And Yemen is just an example, the same as Saudi Arabia, the same as Somalia, the same as Syria, the same as Iraq, the same as Turkey, the same as Afghanistan, Pakistan, you name it. Wherever this cult, satanic cult goes, Satan establish war. And the Muslims, they think by making and doing war they can accomplish something. You accomplish nothing but your destruction. The money you have is gone with the fire you turn on. The war is eating the wealth of Saudi Arabia, the wealth of Yemen, the wealth of Emirat, the wealth of all Islamic countries. Name one is not destroyed and not suffering because of Islam, while other countries and the world is flourishing with better economy structures for their countries. Until now, those countries cannot even have a proper electricity. They cannot even have a proper sewage. Until now, in the most rich country in the Middle East, Saudi Arabia, the whole country does not even have a sewage. Go right now and type in YouTube flood in Jeddah, flood in Mecca, flood in Riyadh, flood. But this is the land which there's no rain in it. So how in the world they are flooded if there is no rain? Because a drop of rain will make a flood there, for there is no sewage. So those countries, they are, they are history. You see, even Saudi Arabia, and there's a problem we don't talk about. They are suffering from big problem, which is the water. Right now they are turning the salty water into fresh water in order to supply themselves for the drinking water. There's no more water, but that make the water more expensive from oil. Now if the oil price became so cheap, for how long those countries can afford to turn the ocean oil into fresh oil? It's very costly, it's very expensive. Those countries are dead countries. Actually, if you look with me in Google, you will see how what we are talking about. It's a total desert. You see, there's no trees. It's a cursed land. It is a cursed land. This is the blessed land in Africa. You see the green? And that is totally dead land. This is where the Muslims are. All this territory, it's empty. Plain empty, bold. No trees grow. No food. No water. Oil will not feed you no more. And oil is almost gone. Not gone necessarily by the you know how much oil you have, no, but look like everybody having oil. You are not the only one. So I wanted to share this with you guys, and I hope Trump soon will announce Jerusalem to be the land of the final capital of Israel. And as I said, he announced it or not, this is the final capital of Israel. Whoever he liked that or not, this is the truth. We showed you the proof from the books of the Muhammadan. We can show you the proof from the Bible. We can show you from books of history. Everything, history, the rocks of Jerusalem is speaking, telling the truth that this is the land of the Jews. And anyone who don't want support the truth, even if you are a Christian, not necessarily a Jew, if you are a Christian, you have to be truthful and honest. And we should defend Jerusalem and give it to the people who own it, and those are the Jews. All right, so Trump, he should do it immediately and stop blah blah blah, making phone calls, acting like a kid. It is time to do what you promise. We voted for you for a reason, and this is one of the reasons. So you better do it, Trump, and we are waiting for you. Thank you guys for listening. We will be with you tomorrow. Tomorrow is Wednesday at 4:30 p.m. Subscribe and join with us. And until then, I say God bless. Christ is Lord. Islam is false, and Jerusalem will never go back to the Muhammadan ever again. Thank you, and see you.